Hi, I'm Melisa Nielsen, and today we're going to talk about adding foreign language to your homeschool. Now, what I'm about to describe to you is just sort of how we've done it, how I've counseled families to do it, and it's a little bit of kind of a hybrid of what they would do in a Waldorf school setting generally. So if you are a multilingual family, the first thing you want to do is sort of decide which language is going to be your primary language for teaching school. So that doesn't mean you're not using the other language. It doesn't mean you're not infusing every day with the other language. It just means that this is what we're going to focus on reading and writing in as they're learning to read. So they'll learn to read the other language later, but first you want to focus on one to sort of get that piece going. So in Waldorf, often they might call that the mother tongue. So that's like what is your mother tongue in your house? Which one are you choosing? What I would say is if you are, maybe your partner is English, either from America or from an English-speaking country, and maybe you're not. So you might be shying away from English as that because you don't feel confident in that. Don't shy away from it. Utilize this as an opportunity to sort of get stronger in it. And as you teach it, you'll be stronger, for the long haul. So then what you would do is you're still like doing circle songs and singing and speaking that other language to keep that alive and keep that going in your home, as often as possible. I know many families that maybe they come here from another country and they might be teaching in English, but they're still speaking in that other country's or in their mother tongue from their other country, and sort of said other country like 3 times there. But they're really trying to keep that balance of keeping that alive. One thing that I see happen too often that I don't want to happen to your family, especially if you're from someplace else, is to sort of assimilate into American culture. They sort of stop their other language. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to be able to bring that liveliness of where you came from to your children. So school setting wise, like I said, you're going to focus on one with regards to how you're learning to read. Once they're reading and writing fluently, so like 2nd, 3rd grade, then you can bring in the other one to read. And then after they've gotten fluent in reading and maybe doing some writing, then they'll do, deeper reading. So in a Waldorf school setting, they're reading novels in that language. They're, as they're getting older, it goes deep. They're doing many things. So don't stop just because you've got those basics down. Keep going, keep seeking ways to strengthen that language in your home. I will be very transparent here with you. This has definitely been a downfall. I spent, in my home, I spent 4 years as a child when we lived in Germany, and I was the only one who spoke it. We moved there when I was 2. We left there when I was almost 7. I was the only one who spoke it. My parents never learned. In the 4.5 years we lived there, they very little German. And I was the only one who spoke it. So when we went back to the States, it was lost really quickly. So, and I tried to pick it back up in high school, and I took it in middle school, and I took it in high school, and then I just switched to Spanish because neither one of them was syncing, right? So now we live in San Diego, and we have heavy Hispanic population that I can't speak to, that I'm trying to, and there's not very many German people here. I sort of joke that every time I cross the border to go to Tijuana, to go to the dentist, I will try to speak to the cab driver in German just by that little chance that maybe somebody will be able to understand my German better than I can understand their Spanish. But like I said, it's not been something that we've been really strong with. And I don't have regrets over it. It just is what it is. Everybody has things that are strong and things that they don't feel super strong in. And that's one of ours. So what we have done with older children, and so I'm going to kind of give you this background here. Super Sam, as of the recording of this, is almost 14. For the last 2 years, he and I have been working on Duolingo together. He has his own account, and he has milestones that I expect him to meet every day, and I do the same. Yeah, we get off just like anybody else does. But one thing that I found is, even though I found Duolingo to be great, it's not foolproof. So I also like the linguist Paul Noble, and he has books for many different languages. So I really liked his German book. I learned more in the first chapter of his German book than I did in a year of Duolingo. So, and it was because it was more conversational and it felt more natural, and it had allowed me to go deeper than with what I was doing with Duolingo, and allowed me to hold on to it and retain it more. So if that's an area that you're really wanting to dive into, maybe you aren't bilingual and you're like me and you're trying to sort of sort out that other piece and you'd like to bring that in, that's how I would do it. But I wouldn't bring something like Duolingo to a younger child, like 9 and under, no, for sure not. I also wouldn't bring it to a child that doesn't have a good grasp on the English language yet. So you want to make sure they're reading and writing in English. Before you sort of bring in any kind of computer component or something like that, you want to be singing in that language. You definitely want to, talk about the culture and speaking the words for sure. But I would not introduce an extra program like that. The idea is you learn it, you take it in, you make it alive, and then you bring it to them. So often we'll have like German breakfast, and I'll greet them in German from the beginning of the day, and as long as I can keep it up, and then I'll end up switching back to English. But we do that to sort of, keep things going and really bring that to life and give them new vocabulary. So that's really the best way to do that if you are bringing in a language that you're not already fluent in. So in a Waldorf school, they often would not have somebody teaching a language that was not their mother tongue. So you couldn't be like, an American from Pennsylvania and teaching Spanish in a Waldorf school generally, because they really want Spanish-born, speakers, so that they're native speakers when they're teaching the children. And I think that that's really important. That's one thing that I liked a lot about Paul Noble's program. And again, I have no affiliation, just really liked his program, his audiobooks. And you can find them on Audible. You can find all the levels, I think, for most languages are there. But what I liked is he speaks it, and I think he is British. And then he has a native speaker speak it, so you can hear how it would sound if you were in that place. So I find that incredibly helpful. So if you are working on trying to bring foreign language in this year, those are just some ideas. Always do song, always do culture, understand the people that you are trying to speak like, find friends that maybe understand that language or are good at that language, or maybe were born there. That's super helpful. Having them speak to you in that language. I had a friend once and she only texted me in German. It would be so frustrating because sometimes it'd be like Google Translate trying to figure out what she was saying rather than, just trying to let it all soak in. So find fun ways to bring it and don't get hung up on it. And if it's something you haven't done, guess what? Nobody's going to pull your Waldorf homeschool card. You're okay. It's all good. Do what you can and bring it in slowly. That's really the best way to make it stick. Don't rush into it because you usually don't make it stick that way. So anyways, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a note. We're happy to help you. See y'all later. Bye.